The time is about 5:45. I'm up early because I'm about to be going on my first run of training camp, something which all professionals will be doing. I'm absolutely knackered, but let's go.
Boxing, a sport dating back to ancient Greece that can still dominate the headlines today. A spectacle of discipline, skill and strength enjoyed by millions around the world, yet criticised by arguably an equally large proportion. It is believed that years of training and conditioning are required for one to generate renowned success in this sport, so how much could a beginner achieve in 8 weeks? This is the question I'll be asking myself over the next 2 months as I prepare to take part in an ultra white-collar boxing event. On top of this, I will be following the training regime of a professional as closely as possible, which, unfortunately for me, means many more of these 5 AM start times. So this is actually what most professional boxers will do. They will get up at the crack of dawn and go on a run. I guess it's a good way of installing discipline and finding a routine. So that's what we're doing this morning. We're doing a mixture of runs and sprints, and that will prepare me for fight night, just kind of getting used to that sort of stop-start motion of the fight, intense activity and then a slight bit of rest. So yeah, this will be my life for the next 2 months. 5k every morning at 6 AM, other than on Sundays. And it's Thursday today, so you know, we're sort of cheating, we're starting halfway there. Ultra Events is a fundraising initiative that offers people the chance to step outside their comfort zones whilst raising money for Cancer Research UK. Since Ultra Events started in 2009, the scheme has put on multiple boxing events in 116 different UK locations, granting opportunities to almost 255,000 fundraisers. This has resulted in Cancer Research UK receiving over 1 million donations, amounting to a huge £26 million. Ultra White Collar Boxing has therefore contributed to 86% of the funds raised by Ultra Events across all of their initiatives. However, despite its success, Ultra White Collar Boxing has also faced controversies. 3 men have died after taking part in a boxing event organised by Ultra since the initiative began, prompting questions to be raised over the safety of white collar boxing. The company declined to speak to me on the matter, ignoring my emails, but released this statement following the second death in March 2023. We have strict processes to provide a safe environment for people to enjoy boxing while raising money for charity. Any suggestion to the contrary is simply wrong. At each of our events, a trauma-trained paramedic and 2 medical technicians are in attendance, along with a fully equipped ambulance. To find out more about the long-term effects of boxing on the body, I'm meeting with Marcus Pancho, a GP with almost 40 years of experience in medicine. I'm keen to receive a medical standpoint on the effects that boxing has on the brain and cognitive functions.
The research is sort of suggesting is a cumulative effect. You know, it's not just one head injury, it's sort of multiple knocks to the head that eventually over a period of time do damage to the brain. If you imagine the skull is a very hard object, and within that you've got a soft tissue brain and some liquid between the brain and the skull, but there is movement, and every time you bang a head, any form of head injury, the brain moves inside the skull and gets knocked, and that can lead to damage to the white matter. Then that goes on to cause these neurodegenerative conditions, for example, dementia, Parkinson's disease, and motor neuron disease.
Do you have any experience in your professional career in dealing with boxing injuries?
I do remember when I was a medical student, I went to a post-mortem of a boxer who died, a young boxer who died. And the brain is an interesting organ because normally when you damage, say, a muscle, it heals itself by fibrosing. It produces scar tissue, which is quite tough and hard. Whereas the brain, say, just does the opposite. I think it's called gliosis, but it just turns into a sort of blancmange. And just opening this boxer's head up to examine the brain, it was just all completely mushy. And that was traumatic brain injury. That was in the ring. Yes, that happened in the ring.
Believing in that guard is everything. So sometimes you're going to slip and punch, sometimes you're going to roll and punch. But remember, believe in that guard on the day.
Yeah.
Since week 1, I've been receiving my training from Alan Mackenzie, a semi-professional fighter who has been preparing me out of his home boxing gym in Norwich. Alan is also the owner of Assassin's Gym, where fighters in July's event receive 8 weeks of free training from Alan and his team, in the form of pad work, light sparring and intense cardio. As someone who runs a successful combat sports business and is used to training athletes of a high level, I was curious to find out what motivated Alan to offer his services to beginners for free on behalf of ultra events.
I want to keep them safe. I want to make sure they can parry, make sure they can block properly, move their head offline, and make sure they know how to breathe when they're executing a punch. But I want to instill fitness in people. I don't want to instill fitness for just 8 weeks. I want people to go away with the lessons that we've taught them. I want to use it outside of our gym, maybe go to a conventional gym, maybe show their partners, their kids, you know, their grannies, who knows. But I want to instill fitness in everyone for life, not just for the 8 weeks. That is a massive part of it. 1, 2, 3. Nice.
Alan's ethos of safety and prolonged fitness has certainly shone through in my sessions with him. He is rigorous in his detail on how I can protect myself in the fight, but more importantly has unlocked a passion within me for a new form of fitness. Through boxing, my body has been pushed to limits that I may not have deemed possible during my time in rugby or the gym. As a result, I have never felt better both physically and mentally. I have Alan to thank for that, even though I may not feel like doing so at the time.
Keep going. 1 time. Nice work. Lovely work.
So now that training's over, recovery is essential for me. What I'm going to be doing next is a common practice within combat sports, and that is the dreaded ice bath. Now, whilst this may seem like a crazy stunt for adrenaline junkies, it is going to have a lot of health benefits and contribute massively towards my recovery. It's going to reduce inflammation in my muscles, it's going to stimulate my nervous system, and it's also going to help control my regulated breathing, which is going to be essential on fight night. So obviously, once again, I don't have the team or the funding behind a professional boxer, so I've had to opt for an alternative. So this is an ice bath on a budget.
My Tupperwares of frozen water offer a far more cost-effective alternative to the professionals' use of cryotherapy, which involves a chamber that's set at minus 100 degrees. It's more comfortable, but costs around £50 per 2 minutes. With the help of my housemate, the ice is crushed and transferred into a bath of already cold water. It is then left to chill for 10 minutes before I take the plunge.
The boxers are ready. Are you ready, ladies and devastating rounds of boxing. He said it's close. Mighty, mighty close in favour of the red corner! Michael the Machine Mullender. What a great performance from Ned Henderson.
It has now been over a month since the fight, and now that my body and ego have recovered from the night, I'm travelling to Suffolk's coastline. Here in the seaside town of Lowestoft, I'm meeting with a resident who is well versed in the experience of a white-collar boxing match, and indeed in fighting me. Michael Mullender was my opponent on the night, and I decided to meet with him to discuss his experience of the event and talk through the fight itself. Here we go, first round.
God.
What was going through your head at this point as we're playing it out?
Tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. I was so nervous, and you looked sharp. Coming out there, you looked really, really sharp. Your eyes were bright, and I was like, man, this guy is up for it.
I was focused, but yeah, I feel like we're both just trading blows, sort of feeling each other out a bit.
Yeah. Very cautious, aren't we? Very kind of keeping a distance. And you can tell you'd worked on that. You slipped my jab and you come in, getting close to work the body.
That was the plan, but I think the peekaboo's a boost for you. But I think this is frustrating because it's a great shot from you, but I do just stop that.
I remember that gave me so much more confidence, and you see I just start attacking now.
Yeah, you do, and you catch me clean there as well. Since looking into the dangers of boxing and the controversies that ultra white collar boxing has faced, I was curious to hear of Michael's experience with regards to safety.
But some people they don't like boxing. They see it as just two people going into a ring and hitting the crap out of each other. Yeah. But it's a lot more technical than that. There's a lot more of an art form towards it, especially the point scoring side of it. So I didn't feel too unsafe. You had the headgear on, you had the groin guard, you had a gum shield, hand wraps, boxing gloves. We had the pre-fight medical examination, the post-fight as well. So I felt pretty safe.
As our discussion on safety continued, I informed Michael of what I had learned with regards to the 2 deaths that occurred at ultra white collar boxing events. In the autopsy, it was revealed that he had received a sort of a minor blood clot in his brain during sparring. And then obviously that was worsened during the fight, and unfortunately he died the next day. I found it interesting therefore that we sparred without head guards for the whole 8 weeks.
Yeah, because obviously we were told that we were going to be sparring with head guards and that on. Maybe that's something that could have happened. And I think as well what you've got to remember is some people, they have no sporting pedigree at all. You can get anyone go there and have a crack at it. So I don't know if you remember, was it the first or second week? One of the lads dislocated his leg, didn't he? Yeah. I remember he was right in front of me, the queue to go in, and he kept saying, because that was quite a nice day, wasn't it? Really sunny. He kept mentioning about going to the pub, and I could smell alcohol on his breath, funny enough. So maybe looking back on it, something that they could do to improve safety is maybe alcohol tests or whatever before training, just make sure. Yeah, because like I say, bringing back to my point that some people, anyone could turn up. You ain't got to be an athlete or whatever. You could get anyone turn up there.
Obviously, you normally fight like this.
Finally, I wanted to know what compelled Michael to commit himself to 8 weeks of hard training followed by a fight, which is undoubtedly a daunting prospect to many.
Well, the main reason I took part of it was last year I was in a terrible state of mental health. My mental health was shocking. And I remember I had a mental breakdown, various reasons, failed relationships, work-related issues as well, which are since now all sorted. But I remember it was very bad. And I said to myself, after I kind of got over that little episode, I said, right, next year, I'm going to start afresh. Shaved my hair off. Shaved my hair off. New job, new partner, kind of just distanced myself from friends, just started completely afresh. And I said, I'm going to do something big. I'm going to do something big next year. I'm going to do something big. I can overcome anything. And my friend told me about ultra white collar, and it sounded perfect, you know. So I thought that was my main motivation for it. You know, if I can beat what's going on in here, I could give it a good crack.
Ultra white collar boxing is certainly not perfect. There are questions to be raised over safety, ranging from minor cases of injury to death. As Michael said, we didn't wear headguards at times, and anyone can begin the training process without a prior face-to-face health assessment. However, we were given extensive medical evaluations both before and after our fights on the night. Michael's words both moved and resonated with me. His story showed that the Ultra White Collar Boxing Initiative is a life-changing experience. It has the ability to push anyone outside of their comfort zone. And while it may seem daunting at the time, the feeling of achievement afterwards is unbeatable. We all know boxing is a dangerous sport, but overcoming these initial concerns and experiencing both the physical and mental benefits through training, it becomes for me undeniably worth it.